Ah, look what I did. Look what I did. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens. This is Adam Bricker. You are in the business of coaching. It's a webinar class. We just did our bonus for people who arrived on time. That's not part of the recording. So congratulations to those today who got an insight on systemic thinking. Today, we're talking about how to rule your kingdom. And as everybody who is here on time knows, we're going to look at things as a system. I'm going to call that system of systems a kingdom. And who rules a kingdom? Kings and queens, right? I saw emperor come in as well. So why I have you here, Marie-Luz, what does it mean for you to be a queen?
Being able to lead others to getting a better life, being able to lead with my lead, being example to others, to be able to lead themselves and their companies and their life, and be ruling their own kingdom.
My bad. I'm on portable equipment that's not mine. I'm gonna change my.
No worry, my bad too. My computer broke and I in my phone, so.
Test 1 2. Test. Can you hear me? Cool. All right, Marie-Luz, one more time, please.
Okay, what does it mean for me to be a queen? Is
Yes.
Being able to help people lead their life and lead with bigger standards, so I can be the example for others to lead their life as well.
Nice. So as a queen, you would be leading by example.
Exactly.
Do you expect other people to do what you do?
I expected other people to be themselves, but also lead, being able to be lead and being able to be coaching.
Got it. Got it. And would you ever want to be a king?
I am a king. We all have it, those archetypes inside. I am a king and I am a queen.
I love it. Well, you are in the right spot today. We're going to have lots of fun with this. Dr. Karen, how about you?
Thanks, Adam. For me, being the queen or the emperor, the buck stops with me. I have the honor and privilege of helping serve everybody in my kingdom. Everybody who's at whatever level they are, helping them move further ahead so that they can live the life that they would love.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Living your best life, living a life that you would love. That's really the theme at Empowered Life. So I'm real happy with all of that. Colleen or Cynthia, would either of you like to comment?
Sure. I was just thinking that being a queen means having access to resources that I don't hoard for myself, but I share them to help the people who are in my kingdom.
That is one of the best, absolute, most important things we're going to discuss today is resources. And how about your perspective? Are you the queen and the king?
Sure. Well, I read a book once where they referred to the Queen of England as my duke. She's a duke, so which always seems like a male thing. So sure, I'm king, queen, duke, duchess, everything.
Have you ever seen yourself as the queen before?
I don't know. Maybe. Okay. The first word that came to mind was a princess. So yeah, queen is an elevation.
Got it. And so congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
And Cynthia, I see you on camera. You want to talk, but I want you to be safe.
Hi, how are you? So I've, like the last person said, and I'm so sorry I don't know your name, but I've always said I'm a princess. So I could be a queen. But one of the best things that I've always said and the way I live is, I owe no one anything except an example of great leadership. So that's what it means for me to be a version of myself, do the right people, not try and change people, just give them a great example and hopefully they lead by my example.
Outstanding, outstanding. Thank you so much. It's amazing. The first time I ever considered myself to be a king was a life-changing scenario. It was hard for me to grasp. And then years later, when I also wanted to be a queen, it was even more difficult, because in my head, I had these preconceived notions of what that was. Okay. And all through history, we have great examples of kings and queens that create a kingdom, a lifestyle where people can have what they want. Luckily for us, in Empowered Life, we're really in alignment with each other. So the kingdom that we want to create is has shared resources, as Colleen has mentioned. So with these resources, whether they're provided by Empowered Life or somebody else, everything's at your fingertip. And if you don't know how to do something, you have other monarchs that you team with who can show you the examples. So we're going to talk today about having the perspective of sitting in the highest of all levels, the highest of responsibilities to create that kingdom. So just a little bit of feedback. I love to do open mics, especially when the class is small. What would come inside or part of your kingdom? Open floor.
I think it will be the sense for service and for serve others. I think a queen and a king have the highest standard for service.
Outstanding. Right on. Anybody else?
Can you clarify a little more what you mean by that?
No.
Okay.
I'm just opening it up. When I teach, I'm going to tell you what my perspective is.
Okay.
But I also want to give you the opportunity to show up with your perspective. So if they don't match, I can learn from you. You can learn from me. So what do you
come under my kingdom? Well,
Colleen, do we know each other?
Yeah, I'm Kelly Carius' publisher.
Sweet. All right, really good things about you. So you're a publisher. What do you do within your business?
Yeah, well, the first thing that came to mind when I think kingdom, I think land. And so virtual space, there's the spaces, I hold court, I could say, in a mighty network, and that I call the book hatchery. That's where all the work happens. And then, but I've got a website, and which I'm always tweaking to try and represent me and my kingdom well. And so there's space, land, virtual real estate.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for sharing. Does everybody have that in their kingdom, that you have land? And you better have a nice castle.
Yeah.
And a vacation castle. So Colleen's got a castle called the Book Hatchery. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's a castle or not, Colleen, and it's not for me to judge. It's for you to decide, is that a castle?
Yeah, I would say so. It's got lots of rooms, lots of spaces that people can gather and do things.
And fantastic. And Colleen touched on something that's really incredibly important for everybody here to get a hold of, and that's digital space. Okay. The three most important things in sales from the 20th century were what? Location, location, location. Okay. Now we're all here. We're all digital. I have hundreds of clients I've never met in person. I don't think I met anybody on this call in person. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of giving you a big hug. Did you hug me, Karen? One time? All right. All right. And so being together is great. Having people come into your castle is really important. But having that castle, that virtual castle, in an area where you're able to receive them, give them a great experience while they're visiting your kingdom is really important. Okay. I created a welcome mat for everybody. If you're coaching on the Empowered Life platform, you have a digital coaching card, and it goes right on the computer, right on the phone, and that's like a welcome mat. It's like the what do you call it? Is it a drawbridge? What comes down and goes over the moat so that you can come into the castle?
Yeah, that's a drawbridge.
Okay, so that's a drawbridge into your kingdom. Not the only one, just one that Empowered Life has created for you, because in our kingdom, we don't want you to be servants. We don't want you to be peasants. That's not the kind of kingdom we're running. As a matter of fact, we want to run an alliance between our kingdom and yours. And then when Colleen says hold court, we want you, if you want to be in our court. We want you to be part of our hierarchy within Empowered Life. Because if we're to get better, we want all coaches to be able to have a platform. So we need feedback from all different coaches. If I work with Colleen, I know that because I run the virtual book tour, I'll have some insight that we can work on strategically together. But if I'm working with Dr. Karen, I don't really have a whole lot of experience helping people with their babies. But I have a lot of experience getting new clients. So that if that's within her kingdom, then she needs to either delegate somebody to do that, do it herself, or bring in outside help from neighboring kingdoms. Okay. So if anybody's a history buff, you have the ability to on Google, you guys have heard of that. You can look up animated map history of Europe, and you can watch the Ottoman Empire expand and then collapse, and the Roman Empire expand and collapse, and the Germans start to take over parts of Europe and then collapse. It's really amazing. How long will your kingdom survive? How long do you want it to survive? Are you doing the job you're doing now for a reason, for a season, for your entire life? Or have you even considered that? How long?
For longer than that. For me, there's a legacy piece of what I'd like to leave behind.
Outstanding. So you need your kingdom to be able to thrive without you.
Yes.
So if you need your kingdom to be able to thrive without you, how could you possibly be the most important person in your kingdom?
Well, you've got the point to building it up to that point where you have all of the support pieces in place that are running very smoothly so that that can be able to run without my physical presence, because I've established things that then over time, as new developments happen, new technologies happen, the next generation can rejig all that stuff. However, it still maintains itself as an amazing, well-oiled machine that can serve so many.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is brilliant. I love that concept. Can we lead with it's my way or the highway? I'm just putting that out for everybody to digest. As the ruler, as the queen, as the king, it's my way or the highway.
I don't think so. I don't think that's a good way to present ourselves. As it's Patty speaking, as my way or the highway. You want to build your kingdom, and you want to build new leaders, and you want to build new role models. I mean, as Karen said, you want to, in my opinion, for my coaching program or what I'm developing, is valuable information, content, philosophy, like everything we're developing that's continued on. And so, yeah. That's what I would kind of say to that.
I love it. Thank you, Patty. It's brilliant, right? I mean, there's some things that you will be insistent on the level of quality. You will be consistent on the correspondence. You'll be insistent on some of the content. But I'll tell you, I know a lot of doctors who are substantially older than me. And if they are adherent to doing things the way they've always done them, let's say they went to school in the 70s or 80s, a lot of that's outdated. Sometimes continuing education moves you forward, sometimes it doesn't. As a ruler of a kingdom, what are you putting into place to constantly move yourself forward? What are you putting in place as far as resources, people, education that will allow you to move forward?
I'm constantly doing education myself, my personal development work, so
Keeping
that I can continue
innovating.
to learn.
Go ahead, Dr. Karen.
Yeah, I just continue to do my personal education, my personal development, so that I can continue to become the ongoing best version of me, because I'm always changing. Because if I stay the same because I learned one thing one way and I stay the same, I'm not growing anymore. So I'm dying, and I will fall off the progressive piece. I always want to be reaching for more, grateful for what I have, but reaching for more of the next, being innovative and thought-provoking, and learning from people who are progressive and who can teach me.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's all of that is so important and vital to what we're creating right here. And Mariluz, I know you were saying something.
No, I bought by accident. Sorry.
You got it, love. You got
I'm fine.
it. And Colleen, I see
I agree
you're
with Karen.
cool. Colleen, I see you are unmuted.
Yes, I'm unmuted and I'm on camera now. Can you say the question? What are we putting in place? That's what you want to know?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to rephrase it a little bit.
Okay.
Do you need to be right? Do you need? Yeah.
Well, I think there's a certain level of expertise that I need to have, but no, I don't need to be right. In fact, that's when, as a publisher, that's why I have other people come in as editors and proofreaders. Because I'm not always right, and I can't, and it's too much of a burden to always be the one. So,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. The king does not do everything in the kingdom.
No. So even if I was always right, I can't, there's not enough of me to go around.
Thank you for realizing that. If you're on this class and you are here to hopefully get some nuggets, that's an incredible nugget that you can have. And if you are in a business where you're currently doing everything yourself, your business is probably not as big as you want it to be. And letting go of those things is a key to growth. Thank you so much, Colleen. Patty, I see you are unmuted.
Yeah, well, I consider this lifelong learning. I am in the healthcare like Karen. So, we do a lot of academic research and evidence, but really building the coaching program and what we're doing and why we're here is, I think we're sharing our life experiences and we're helping people to get across the bridge faster, better, easier from what we've experienced. So I think it's a combination of when I do, look at my content, I am scanning the latest information. I make sure I reference it as what tools or resources I'm pulling from, but I'm also running a beta group. And I just finished my program with my beta group. They're telling me if my content's relevant to them. I'm doing an evaluation to say, has this made a difference? Has this changed your life? So you need to be constantly, I think, evaluating, updating your content, your program to be relevant to the users and to your tribe or to, what you're talking about. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things that we have to keep on top of. As Karen suggested too, that we're not always the experts, but we have substantial experience that we can share, which is, I think, far outweighs sometimes the academic rigor behind it. So I use a combination of everything, I guess I would say, Adam.
Thank you so much, Patty. And using that combination, I want to ask you, you have these people who are doing the beta test group. What role do they play in your kingdom?
They're, well, I think they're their own, I would say, princesses, because I only have women in there, emerging to be their own queen. And so they're going through transformation and, experiencing who they are as a queen and defining their own unique self, and what they bring to the kingdom, and showing the value that they bring into this world and into the kingdom. So I don't know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Right.
that's so important. When you can look at your clients, your trusted advisors as being royalty, as being queens as well, then you get to listen to them from a different perspective. If they're people I just gave a spot for free for their feedback, you're going to listen on one level. If they're experts at what they do and you want a true evaluation from where they are, you're going to listen at another level. But if they're at the same level as you as being a queen or being a princess or whatever that is, now that information, you get to listen from a new perspective. And if you do any of my coaching, any of my work, everything is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I am not under the illusion that the way I see the world is the way the world is. I'm not going to come on here and teach people and speak nonstop for an hour when there's so much vital content from other royalty on the call. So we bring it all together and we mesh it together. That's what makes this experience expansive. Cool. Cool. Any comments on what we've talked about so far? Excellent. Quick show of hands. Who is on the call primarily a solopreneur, primarily the only one in their business? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about delegation. If you're a king, if you're a queen, and you have anything in your kingdom from horsemen to soldiers to knights to peasants, that you have lots of people to delegate to. If you're the CEO and you have a staff, you have people to delegate to. But if you're a solopreneur, what kind of strategy do you have for delegation that frees you up to get out of doing the things that are not the most productive for you, that you're not an expert at?
Well, for me, it's understanding what are the right soldiers and, who are the people I need to bring into this as a solopreneur, and getting advice to establish that kingdom using the right people, the right tools, the right resources. And that's where I'm at, as a point of trying to understand where I can take, what I need to do to advance that part, being a solopreneur.
So where do you find your resources as a queen who runs a kingdom? If you want more spices so that your chefs can make tastier food, and spices aren't available in your kingdom, what kind of resources would you use to get them?
Well, I want to find kings that have expertise and value in this and understand how I can take advantage of it. And I'm going to use their expertise as what they've developed to help me to make the right decisions about what I need to do. So I need to find those other kings that are going to help me.
Love it. I love it. Everybody dialed in with this?
Yeah, collaboration.
Collaboration is one way.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think ambassadors too, like we've already talked about about our clients as trusted advisors, but they can also be ambassadors, going out and bringing back resources or bringing back other people to join the kingdom.
Colleen, I think you're reading my notes. Can you see them in here?
No, I can't.
We're gonna get to ambassadors in in a minute.
Oh, okay.
Great, great contribution there. Thank you so much. So you have these resources that other kingdoms have that you need to leverage. Okay, so Colleen, do you have you know what? I'm going to ask that question in the ambassadors, so that's going to be perfect. So what other resources do you need? What are you spending your time doing that you don't want to be doing?
That children's song comes to mind. The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. I do not want to be in my counting house, counting out my money. I want to understand it, but I want somebody else to count it.
He got my heart. The last class I ever took in college was accounting.
Ooh.
And I was really clear with my teacher, my professor. I said, I don't need to know how to do this. I just need to be able to read the reports. And being able to read those reports are really important. And being able to decide what reports you need are really important. What kind of feedback does a tax collector in your kingdom do? Puts everything out. Money's really important. Money's really important. Who on this call in your industry wants to have a tremendous impact on the world? Okay. I promise you, you will not have a tremendous impact on the world unless you're rich. Because by doing what you're doing, when you have an impact, a lot of people will start paying you a lot of money. That's how it works. It goes hand in hand. I'm not saying ever to be greedy. I'm not saying you can't give all your money away. I'm just saying if you're going to have a tremendous impact on this world, you got to get used to people giving you money. And a lot of it. And you need to have somebody count it for you.
Can you say that again? If you're going to have an impact on this world, you got to get used to people giving you money. I was just thinking about that this morning, yesterday, the day before. I did just a quick breakdown of all the money I could make with the different things that I'm offering, or that I am offering, but I really promoted them widely enough because I've been like, I guess I felt like the queen who has to do everything. And also I have trouble imagining making that much money, even though I can put it on a spreadsheet and I can change the price point, change the number of people who might buy that thing from me. But man, it's hard for me to imagine that much money or people giving me that much money, even though I know value from me. It's like, I grew up on a farm.
So I know some farmers that are dirt poor.
Yeah.
I know some that get by, just get by. I know some that get by comfortably, and I know some that are rich.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about your attitude towards it. If you're going to have a tremendous impact, people are going to give you a lot of money. I'll give you guys a great example. Do any of you go to events and speak at events?
Have done, yes.
And do you try to make money from stage?
Sure, like promoting a book or something that was.
Whatever you're selling, right? Okay, so if you're new, you go and you try to make more money than it costs you to go there. If you got to fly, you got the meals, you got the hotels, and it's going to cost you $1,000 to go, you better be making $2,000 from the stage, right? Now, if you have a big enough audience and your product is good and you're getting better, you might be making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on that one trip, on that one show. Okay. Or more. Okay. But if you're somebody who has tremendous impact, you don't look at it the same way. You don't have to pay for your hotel or your flight. They're either going to book a ticket for you on an airline, or if you have even more impact, they're going to send a private jet for you. Okay. Your trip and your hotel and your meals on that advanced level might be more expensive than you could possibly make it one weekend right now. So as you get more and more impact, more and more is expected from you. So if you're a top, what do they call the speaker, the keynote? If you're a keynote speaker, you might be living all the riches. It might cost that company more money to bring you in because of the tremendous impact you have being the queen and the ruler of your kingdom. Colleen, I'm hoping I'm using extra words to spark your imagination. Because this is really important. If those things weren't in your purview before this call today, in other words, if it was, things that you don't know, this is kind of like a wake-up call for a big castle inside your kingdom. Cynthia, I see your hand up. Would you like to say something? 3, 2, 1. All right. I just didn't think you'll say hi to me. You're waving hi. Cool. Any questions on the combination of having tremendous impact is going to make tremendous amount of money?
Yeah, I don't know questions, but that's my biggest mindset shift.
Cool. So what does Colleen need to do? She needs to bring into her kingdom somebody who can help with that. By the way, do you know Cynthia, who's on this call with us?
I don't know her.
All right, set up a call with Cynthia. She's going to help you with that.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so we have all these people in your kingdom. They're giving you money. They're expecting results. They're going to need something from you to move them forward. Colleen will need from Cynthia something that will help her mindset go forward. What mindset shifts will your clients need to make?
That it's okay to invest in themselves.
Okay. It's okay to invest. You can get good results investing. I'm worthy to be invested in. Yeah. Is that something that you teach?
Yes, I would say part of my resiliency program, because we talk about mindset and our limiting beliefs and holds us back. Sure.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, mine is similar. I think that's like the first thing that almost anybody has to get over, is knowing that it's okay to be out there, to put yourself out there, and not just okay, it's necessary, that somebody needs the gift that you're bringing. And writers often start with just writing in their little journal, and they keep it private, but they don't figuring out who to talk to, who needs their message is huge. And then how to connect with those people over and over and over again, and just believing that that's important. That's a huge starting point.
Outstanding. Do you teach that in your kingdom?
Yeah, I sure do.
Excellent. My clients need that. My clients need to have that worthiness about themselves, but I don't coach that per se. I mean, a one-on-one, I reinforce it, but I bring in other kingdoms. I bring in other monarchs to teach that because they're way better than me at that. Okay. I teach them how to make money, but if they're not worthy of the money, it's funny, they stop. So what mindset shifts do the people in your kingdom need to make to be successful in your program? And are you teaching that mindset shift? Are you reinforcing it? Or are you using a relationship and delegating it?
I think another thing that my people need is to appreciate quality. Like, for example, we don't let editing be optional, even though it's expensive. It's not optional. So and just raising the bar, but also knowing where the line is, like never saying good enough, just slap something up on and get it out there, but also saying when is it both good and enough. So being able to balance expectations and effort.
Nice. So if you're going to teach somebody about quality, and we know that in order to teach somebody something, we need to go where they are. We can't just, if they think that editing is an option and you think it's mandatory, then we have a stalemate, and now we need willpower to win. Somebody has to win and somebody has to lose. But if you go to where they are and find out, what do you insist on quality in your life? Some people want to have a quality wine. They're like, you know what, if it's a $10 bottle of wine, I'm just going to pass. Some people want a quality automobile. Some people just want transportation. So when you can find something that they're already doing in their life and then bring that into your kingdom, that's fantastic. That's a great teaching method. Cool. Who else?
You have to agree, right? You have to know, well, if we can't agree, if we can't resolve this stalemate, which is interesting, it's a chess term, kings and queens on the chessboard. If we can't resolve the stalemate, then one of us, it's okay to walk. It's okay to go across the drawbridge the other direction.
100%. We want to keep people out of our kingdom too. Mm-hmm. We want to keep people outside of our kingdom. I'm not a high-tech person. My product for marketing is not high-tech. It uses a phone and everybody carries a phone. But if I have people who are just like, you know what, I can't use technology, it has to be technology, I can't be a part of it. And I say, okay, it's not a right fit for you. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, I get people like that. Cool. I just got a glimpse of the clock, and I don't want to miss out on the part that Colleen mentioned before, which is ambassadors. Okay. Do you have ambassadors in your business, and what do they do? Anybody currently have any ambassadors?
Do you mean like a formal role or just generally people who promote you, represent you?
I know what I have in my kingdom. I'm just asking you about yours.
Okay. Yes.
Well, I just have
Sorry, go ahead.
have a VA. They actually prospected for me, and I also have a just hire marketing person, because that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to create. I don't want it to be stuck in Canva and all the stuff that taking my time away.
Outstanding. Now, when your marketing's in place, will that leverage more ambassadors?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Cool. Who else has ambassadors?
I have ambassadors.
Of course you do, because you have really successful clients, don't you?
I do, and I have a team, a small team, but a team nonetheless, and an assistant, and a lot of referrals from clients. So I have a lot of ambassadors. Outstanding.
It reminds me of a book called The Tipping Point. Are you guys familiar with Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Tipping Point? Mm-hmm. Okay. If you're doing something that's innovative and not everybody is doing it, then the way that you'll have tremendous impact on this world and tap into your riches is that when it gets to the point that a lot of people start doing it. I don't know how old you guys are, but does anybody on here remember when there wasn't a fax machine? And then all of a sudden fax machines came out. And who had the fax machines first? It's always the early adapters. Okay. And then the mavens jump in. These are your ambassadors. Gladwell calls them mavens. These are the people, they're not going to take the first step off the cliff. They don't have risk. because they want to be right. They want to be significant. So once they know the early adapters are using it, then they start shouting it from the rooftop. People will shout, "Oh my goodness, Cynthia's financial work is brilliant. You've got to do this." Okay. And then that is a way that you accelerate your revenue. Your kingdom will grow massively. If you don't have a solid foundation, you will get into a interesting experience of making more money than you can handle. We want to make sure you can handle the money when it's coming in.
That's the thing. I think that's my fear. I don't know how to handle all that.
Okay. So if you really have a problem with that, just send it to me. And I'll smile. If not, you'll cover that with Cynthia. She'll take care of that with you. Okay. And then I have no doubt that you'll have absolutely very clear ways on, using your business, because right now, if you're not making enough money, you're a percentage that goes to cover your business and personal expenses. You might be at 60, 70, 80% of your revenue is needed to run your life. But as you make more money, I can easily do everything I want on 20% of my revenue. A lot of the rest goes into investments. Oh, I can do everything on 10% of my revenue. So as that grows, the mind shift has to keep on moving and being fluid and get used to tremendous riches coming your way. What do you want to be? What do you want to need for your business and personal lifestyle expenses? Do you want to take home 80% in your own pocket, or would you prefer to take home 10% in your own pocket? And can you imagine a point where 10% of one amount is 10 times the amount that 80% is of another amount? Yeah. Yeah. I forget the fellow who spent the first half of his life making his money and the second half giving it all away. And he had so much he couldn't give it all away. Anybody know that story?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember who it was? It's okay. I'll find
Is that
out.
the guy who did all the libraries in the United States?
I don't remember that part.
Because there's the person who spent his whole life amassing wealth and lost his health, and spent the second half of his life paying to acquire health from his wealth. There's two stories, right?
Yeah, that's
So I'm not sure which one, but yeah.
I'll get that story down so it'll make more sense. God bless you. Cool. All right. So we have a kingdom. We're royalty. If you all bow your head just a little bit, I will anoint you. And congratulations. I'm looking forward to you guys being parts of my kingdom, ambassadors for Empowered Life. For those of you who don't know, my company is called Adam Connects, and you'll all have a coaching card from Adam Connects, those of you that are participating in the coaching program. And we'll all just be making a lot more money serving the world in a way that makes our clients and our kingdom more successful, living their best life. Cool. That's what I have for today. Any questions or comments?
That was fantastic, Adam. I love the analogy. I really found I could understand better with that analogy because I'm a historical romance novel reader. So all of this, king, queen, nobles, court, all that kind of stuff is, when you put the pieces together, it is such a great visual for me. I loved it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that worked well for me too. Thank you.
My honor. Thank you for allowing me to serve.
For me, thank you.
Outstanding. All right, guys, I'm going to do my best to get that recording up. If you have any further questions, let me know, and enjoy life wherever you are today.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.